I never really paid attention to it up until recent. But what is the obsession that Israel has over the US of A or the United States? What is it about America that interests them so much? Why do they want to control or seem to control everything? Everything from our politicians to the people, the infiltration of our churches. Because, I mean, if you go online and look at videos, Israelis, I mean, they spit on Christians. You know, they push nuns down and kick them.
Shows a man run toward the nun and push her from behind, and turns around, walks back, and kicks her while she's on the ground. Now, the nun is a researcher for a French school in Jerusalem.
Like, that doesn't seem like, coexisting with our religion as Christians. So what is the obsession with the United States of America? I mean, is it the money side of things? Because we do send them billions of dollars, and then they turn around and send that money, some of that money back to AIPAC, and then AIPAC and other affiliates fund our politicians. I mean, what is it, like 90% of politicians are funded by AIPAC? They have a AIPAC handler, that tells them what to do and what to say, what to vote on. Is it military? Military control? Because we do have the largest military. Do they use, I mean, the Iran war right now, that kind of seems like, using our military to fight ultimately what they can't fight. And my question just is like, why is it America? Why not Russia or China? Is that because their politicians can't be bought? Or, I mean, it seems like they would be easier bought than our politicians, but I mean, maybe not. I mean, I'm not real familiar with this. It's kind of all new to me. I'm starting to pay more attention to it. I mean, as of now, they're spending, I mean, the same billionaire that funded Trump's campaign is now spending millions of dollars to get Thomas Massie, a Republican from Kentucky, out of Congress.
Well, look at Miriam Adelson, Paul Singer, and John Paulson, the three people that fund MAGA Kentucky. They funded transgender activism, partnered with George Soros. They've funded abortion candidates. They've done fundraisers for Chuck Schumer. It's true, they are Republican super mega donors, right? But they've given money to Liz Cheney after she voted to impeach Trump. And now they've cozied up to Trump, and they're influencing foreign policy of the United States and trying to take me out.
They're controlling foreign policy to the United States.
That just seems like a lot of money to get one guy out of Congress. I mean, he can't be bought. He said before that he refuses AIPAC money. He even talks about them wanting to sign or fill out some paper, to pledge his allegiance to Israel. And he said no. Other politicians have done that, which is kind of crazy. That seems treasonous to me. You're pledging allegiance to another country, but yet you're a politician in our country, the United States of America. That seems treasonous. I mean, they should be out immediately. But, I mean, who am I to say? I'm just one person. I mean, Candace Owens dropped a bomb, I think, on her Tuesday show, talking about how Israel is spending upwards of $1 billion to infiltrate our churches. They're going to put up geofencing around the churches and then collect our data and then fill our phones with propaganda. And then they're going to continue to track our phones and, what we do on them, which seems like a violation of privacy, really. Seems like a violation of, it seems like it should be illegal. But here is our own country trying to pass laws, the FISA, to extend it so the government can spy on us ultimately without warrants. That doesn't seem right either. But once again, our government is bought. They're bought. They're ultimately paid off. I mean, we need to look at the list of churches and demand the pastors to say no to this, because they're paying the pastors off to ultimately invade your churches, our churches, steal our information and fill our phones full of propaganda and steal our data so they can track what we're doing and what we're looking at and who we're calling and what we're texting and what sites we're going to. Why? Why America? I mean, look at Europe. Europe, they're already arresting people for criticizing Israel. The police will go arrest people for saying something online, which is insane. That's not free. That's not a free world. And then, since everybody's catching on to this whole APAC thing, there's a bunch of affiliates that are registering under the FARA Act. They're actually registering, so you could track them at least. But still, I mean, and these other PACs, they're paid for by the Israeli Ministry of Defense is paying for these other, PACs, these other LLCs or whatever they are that's registering on FARA. Isn't that the military, the Israeli military? The defense? I mean, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not too familiar with it all. I'm just kind of catching up, but my first question is why our country? Like I said, is it the money? Is it the politicians? Is it I mean, because they're literally sending our tax dollars over there to a country that has free healthcare, free schooling, and then they're taking that money, buying bombs, blowing people up, turning around, sending it back to, APAC and all these other affiliates to buy our politicians, which seems insane. So, yeah, my question is just why America? What is the obsession? Do they want to bring our country to its knees or do they want to use it? I don't know. But one thing's for sure is our politicians should be held for treason. They are traitors to our country, straight up, putting us in pointless wars, impeding on our freedoms, on our rights as citizens, the rights that our forefathers fought for. So I'd like to keep our country, America first, get some politicians that actually are for America, America only politicians, not for us, but for future generations. We need to bring down that debt to get our dollar back up so things can actually be bought and we can do better for our children. Because it seems like the censorship is coming and it's coming fast. And if we don't come together as a collective, as a whole, I mean, at this point, I think our country's done for. And that's just me observing what is kind of going on online, in the news, in the world. So, yeah, I'm just curious, like, what is the obsession with our country? Why not these other countries? I mean, they're kind of doing it to Europe. I mean, Europe, in my opinion, is a little worse off than we are. It seems like our politicians are bought and paid for a foreign country's agenda. They don't have our country's interest in mind. It's gross, it's sickening, and the question is why our country? These politicians should be held accountable and answer for what they're doing. So, yeah, if you haven't, please like, subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. Like I said, I pray that one day we can possibly come together as a country, put our differences aside because that's where they want us. They want us bickering with each other. They want us divided because we are easier to control that way. If we come together as a whole, they have to listen. So that's what I got for today. I'll see you on the next one. Love you guys. Peace.